page 61. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu Israel. Ani tefilati v'charonai et ratzon Elohim b'rov chastecha Ani be'emet ishecha. Page 63. Elohai neshama Hashem natata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama Hashem natata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata tehora. Do you want to try the round? So let's go ahead. You start again. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehorahi. Wait. Elohai neshama. After I get Elohai, that's when you come in. Elohai neshama shenatata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama tehora. Sorry. So when I go Elohai, you're going Elohai neshama shenatata bi, and I go Elohai, and then you go tehora. You want to try that part one more? Or? Okay. So I'm going to start Elohai. You're going to go Elohai, and then the second phrase you start tehora. Elohai neshama shenatata b'tehorahi. Elohai neshama shenatata b'tehorahi. We're on page 63. Kol zman shehaneshama b'kirbi moda'ani lefanecha Adonai Elohai v'Elohei avotai ribon kol hama'asim adon kol haneshamot baruch ata Adonai hamachazir neshamot lifkarim meitim. We give thanks for a new day, for all the things we do when we wake up and get the sleep out of our eyes, and hear the rooster call or the alarm clock ring. Page 65. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Nasech v'vina lahavchin ben yom u'ben layla. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzalma'o. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivriim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kifufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaber. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tif'ara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten v'haya'ev korah. And 6 lines up from the bottom of the English. Strengthen our desire to do good deeds. Teach us humility that we may serve you. May we find grace, love, and compassion in your sight and in the sight of all who look upon us this day and every day. Grant us a full measure of loving kindness. Praised are you, Adonai, who bestows loving kindness upon God's people, Israel. Actually, we don't say the blessing about to get read the end up. There is the blessing for removing sleep from our eyes and slumber from our eyelids. You know, you little it starts with that blessing. I'm not sure why we don't say that one, but it's very graphic. I kind of like it.
What's the word for rooster again in verse?
Sechvi. So we got Natan is gay, like Notain HaTorah. You with me, Michael?
Yeah.
So Asher Natan is who gave. La Sechvi. La is to the rooster.
Oh, okay.
Bina means the power to understanding, lehavchin, to distinguish, bain, between, yom, uvein, laila.
Day and night.
Between day and night, yeah.
Yeah, so that's from these translations. It would be so much more graphic.
Yeah. I love the more literal one. I think it's
Rooster.
yeah. And it does it for sure. There's nothing in there that's enabling us in the English. And there's no us there at all. Because I think Sechvi can have other meanings. But there's no us in there at all. Yeah. Page 83.
Probably has something to do with the effort so Jews from Eastern Europe don't look quite as uncivilized and
Maybe. Right, it's like the country, you got, and now it's so funny how things come full circle. Now it's cool to have chickens and roosters and stuff. I mean, that's like, sort of whatever.
Be interesting. If you had a grad student, you could send them off on a little mission to find out when they develop this translation, this mistranslation.
It's interesting. It would be interesting to find.
They because we don't picture people in France with roosters, farms or something, did I understand that correctly? You were saying that you don't imagine like people in France having roosters or chickens or that, did you?
So the symbol of France is the Gallic rooster.
I was gonna say, not that I wasn't, but,
Yeah, on French maps, the old ones, see the rooster.
Yeah,
and also I picked up, just by accident, it was a Forbes book on costume from the 13th century on. And French were not the sophisticates of what we always thought of. They were lucky if they had shoes, even wealthy people. It was and most of the people were very, very poor.
Interesting.
And they would, the captions were like, more often than not, for the general populace, beggars, beggars, and so, these people were, on the farm was lucky, roosters and chickens, and
Right.
we don't think of France in those terms, but of course,
different times, yeah.
olden days.
Yeah. And actually now, and coming to today,
It's cool.
I do some work to help Chavarot start in the area. And we have Chavarot of all kinds. There's one Chavarot that they call themselves Young Families with Chickens. And it just happens, they all are raising chickens. Serious, in Long Meadow, no less. Okay, page 83. So we give thanks for the world that was created with all kinds of stuff. 83. Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam Baruch hu Baruch ohoseh bereshit Baruch omer ve'oseh Baruch gozer u'mekayim Baruch merachem haaretz Baruch merachem al habriot Baruch mishalem sachar tov v're'av Baruch chalad dekayam lanetzach Baruch podeh u'matzil Baruch shemo. Yachi chei ha'olamim melech meshubach u'mefo'ar adei ad shemo hagadol Baruch ata Adonai melech mehulal batishbachot. Here's, Michael, your comment earlier makes me looking at the Hebrew more carefully right now. So count up 3 lines from the bottom of this page, 83.
With the boxes.
Just the 3 words before the box.
Okay.
V'namlichecha malkeinu Eloheinu. So the first word, v'namlichecha, and we will make you melech. Melech is king. We will make you melech, malkeinu, our king. In other words, we will crown you our king. We will anoint you our king. Eloheinu, our God. It's we proclaim you sovereign. It's not quite it's similar is what they're saying, but I think it's like we make God our king. We make God our God. And God's there, but it's not just, sometimes we always think of the relationship as God is choosing us. But this phrase, Nam lichecha, let us make you our God. It's a pretty powerful statement. And I don't think it comes through in the English as strongly as it's there, but it comes through stronger in the Hebrew. That it's definitely a two-way street, and our turning to you are our God. We're going to make you our God is part of the equation.
Yeah, but it's also, in that God, it's not obviously that, it's not, from that, if you look from the more correct translation, it's not obvious that that God is the God, is the ruler of the universe. We have to make him.
In a way, there's I'm not sure we're going to take a minute today. Let's skip ahead for a second. We'll come back to where we are in the service, but I just wanted to go for a second to page 112, which is the Shema.
Yeah.
And if you look at the phrase of the Shema, the last letter of the first word of Shema is a little bit enlarged. You see that letter ayin on the word Shema, the last letter of Shema?
Yeah.
And look at the last word of the line, echad, and also the same thing. The last letter is a little enlarged. You see that, Rachel? So it's not by chance. It's not a typo. If you take the ayin and the dalet, those two letters, and you put them together, it means witness. An aid is a witness. Okay? And so we are saying, like, we are your witnesses. And there's a commentary that says, when you are my witnesses, I am God. But and I am your God. When you are not my witnesses, I'm not your God. In other words, we need to witness. So anyways, there it is. Can you believe we're already on the Shema, Nitza? We're not. We just skipped ahead for something. So let's go back. Let's go back to where we are. Let's go to page 87. In the middle. Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Torah Adonai Tamima, Meshiva Nafesh, Eidut Adonai, Nemana, Mahkimat Peti, Pikudei Adonai Sharim, Pikudei Adonai Sharim, Pikudei Adonai Yesharim, Samchelei, Mitzvat Adonai, Bara, Neirat Einayim, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Torah, Yirat Adonai Tehora, Omeret Ba'an, Nishtetei Adonai, Emet, Tzadku Yachdav, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai, Yai Lai Lai Lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Next page also in the middle. Maybe we'll do every page with songs in the middle of the page. Page 88 in the middle. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chaim ohev yamim ohev yamim lir'oto Netzor l'shon chamera uspatecha midaber mirma sur merav haseito bakesh shalom berotehu Mi ha'ish hechafetz chaim ohev yamim ohev yamim lir'oto.
I have to say something.
Bevakasha.
You know, they have all the time competition in Israel. It's like singing and young kids. And one young kid, he got first place, sang this. I want to tell you, you cry. First of all, you know, a child voice is a very, and the big noise, it was something
Beautiful.
I wish I knew how to take it. So beautiful. When we sing this, I see him in front of my eyes.
Wow, wow. When was this?
It's now.
Just recently.
He's been, oh, now the
Nice.
the shivers, you know.
Yeah. The music is just so powerful.
Yeah. But it's endless because most of the song that we sing here, this melody that we sing here, is what they sing.
It is really, it's so close. That's nice. I didn't know. Good. Okay, so page 89. Counting up from the bottom, 3, 6, 8 lines. Limnot yameinu. Limnot yameinu. Limnot yameinu. Limnot yameinu kein hoda v'navi levad chokhmah. Limnot yameinu kein hoda v'navi levad chokhmah. Teach us to number our days. Teach us to number our days, that we attain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days, that we attain a heart of wisdom. Teach us to number our days. Page 94, but this one will do the top.
It's not the
I don't see one right in the middle. We do have Tzadi Kataman near the bottom, but anyways, how can we skip Mizmor Shir? Mizmor Shir le'yom haShabbat tov le'hodot Adonai u'zamer l'shimcha elyon ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלינה, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך עליי. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. And let's do Tzaddik Tamar too, because it's sort of in the middle. It's actually 6 lines from the bottom. Tzaddik Tamar yifrach ke'erez Lebanon yizkeh shetulim bebeit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu odinu b'seva deshenim v'ra'nanim yiyu lehagid ki rashar Adonai tzuri v'lo avatabho. 100 in the middle of the page. Hallelujah, 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 El Bekacho, hallelujah, Birki Auzo, hallelujah, Viguratam, hallelujah, Kirokulo, hallelujah, 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 B'teka shofar, hallelujah, B'neder v'chinor, hallelujah, B'tof u'machor, hallelujah, B'mini be'ugav, hallelujah, 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 B'tzil tzilei shama, hallelujah, B'tzil tzilei truah, kol hanshama, tehaleya, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Page 104. Nishma kol chai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai, Eloheinu, Nishma kol chai, tivarech et shimcha, Adonai, Eloheinu, Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai Lai. Page 105. In the middle. Shochen Ahad Maharo. בפי ישרים תתהלל, ובדברי צדיקים תתברך, ובלשון חסידים תתרומם, ובקרב קדושים תקדש, ובמקלות רבבות עמך בית ישראל. פרידאי פרשת וחמתנו בכל דור. שכן חובת כל היצורים לפניך, אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, להודות, להלל, לשבח, לפאר, לרומם, להדר, לברך, להלל ולקלס, על כל דברי שירות ותשבחות, תביא בנישי עבדך משיחך, ישתבח שמך לעד מלכנו. ברכות והודאות מעתה ועד עולם, ברוך אתה אדוני אל מלך גדול ותשבחות, אל ההודאות הגדול הנפלאות, הבוקר בשירי זמרה, מלך אלוהי העולמים. 108. אל אדון על כל המעשים, ברוך ומבורך בפי כל נשמה, גדול וטובו מלא עולם, דעת ותבונה עשו בגלימותו. המיקה חיות הקודש ונהדר בכבוד עולם וכבוד, זכות ומישור לי. chesed rachamim lifnei kodo tovim me'orot shebara Eloheinu yitzaram b'da'at b'bina u'paskel koach u'gvura natan bahem b'yom Moshe erev tevel meleim zivu v'kim noga na'eziva mechol ha'olam שמחים בצאתם וששים בבואם עושים בהמה רצון קונם פאר בכבוד נותנים לשמו צרה ורינה לזכר מלכותו קרא לשמש ויזרח אורה והיא צורת הבנה שבחנו בנו כל צבא מרום תפארת וגדולה צרפים באופנים וחיות הקודש ילי האל אשר שבת מכל המעשים. Let's read the second paragraph for a change. It's more near the middle of the page. Let all God's creatures likewise sing God's praise. Let them honor their sovereign, creator of all, who at page 109, who in holiness grants rest and repose for God's people Israel on the holy Shabbat. In the heavens above and on the earth below shall your name be hallowed and acclaimed, Adonai our God. Praise shall be yours, our deliverer, for your wondrous works, for the lights you fashioned, the sun and the moon, which reflect your glory. Tiparach Moshe Moshe Ma'aseh Yadecha Bal Me'orei Or She'asita Yifa'aru Chasrecha. Take 110. Tiparach Sureinu Malkeinu V'Go Aleinu Borei Kedoshim. 3.5 lines from the top. Kulam ahuvim, kulam berurim, kulam giborim, v'kulam osim be'ema ubira retzon konam, v'kulam pochim et pihem b'kedusha u'b'tahara, v'shira u'zimra, u'mbarchim u'mshalachim, u'farim u'maritzim, u'makdishim u'madlichim. Et Shem Ha'el HaMelech Hagadol HaGibor VaHanara Kadosh Hu. V'chulam mekablim aleihem Ol Malchut Shamayim Ze Mizeh V'notnim Reshut Zeh Lazeh L'hakdish B'yotzram V'nachat Ruach V'safa V'ra V'nimah Kedosha Kulam Kechad Onim V'omrim B'yirah Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzvaot, Melech haaretz k'vodo. Elfagim v'chayot hakodesh, v'ra'ash gadol mitnasim ve'umat serafim, ve'umatam meshabchim v'omrim. Baruch Kevod Adonai Mikol Baruch Minochiteinu. I believe we have a melody for the last three lines.
I know Shabbat one.
Sure, let's do it.
Or Chadash Zion Tahir. Or Chadash Zion Tahir. Or Chadash Zion Tahir. V'nispechu lanu mehera le'oro.
One more time.
Or Chadash Zion Tahir. Or Chadash Zion Tahir. Or Chadash Zion Tahir. V'nispechu lanu mehera le'oro.
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. 111. Ahava Ahavanu. Ahava Ahavanu. And let's continue from where? From the middle of the page. Ve'ha'er'enu b'toratecha ve'dahabet ve'enu b'mitzvotecha ve'yached lehevabeinu ve'ahava u'yir'ah et shemecha ve'lo lebosh le'olam lahem ve'lo lebosh le'olam lahem ki b'shem kol ha'otzeka Agadol v'hanora v'atachnu Nagila v'nismecha Nagila v'nismecha v'yishu'atecha V'havi'enu l'shalom me'arba kanfot ha'aretz v'tolichenu kol memiyu le'artzeinu ki erkol yeshuotata uvanu b'charta mikol ha'melashon v'keraftanu l'shimcha hagadol Selah ben lehodol lecha u'le'achecha v'yahava Baruch atah Adonai הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו טוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיום שמעתי שמע מצוותיי. Adonai Elohechem Emes. בדור ודור הוא קיים ושמו קיים, וחיסון לכל למלכותו ואמונתו לעד קיים. 4 lines up from the bottom of 113. Emet she'atahu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu malkeinu me'elech avoteinu avoteinu Go'aleinu Go'el Avoteinu Yotzreinu Tzur Yeshuateinu Hodeinu Matzileinu Me'olam Shemecha Ein Elohim Zulatecha Ezra Takoteinu Ataku Me'olam. Now, there's a song we haven't sung for a long time. It's on page 114, the 4th line down, 4 lines from the end. Actually, the fifth line down, it goes, Emet Atahu Rishon. See that? Everyone see it? Hu Rishon.
Sure.
It's true that you are the first. Ve'atahu Acharon. And you are the last.
You're the first and the last.
Umi Bal Adecha. That's a big long word. Umi Bal Adecha. Try it. Umi Bal Adecha. Adecha, yeah. Ein Lanu Melech. Ein Lanu Melech. And then the word Melech repeats with the next two words. Melech Goel Umoshiach. Melech Goel Umoshiach. Goes like this. If you get the word Emet, you got half the song. Emet, 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 Atahu Rishon. Just that. Emet, 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 Rishon. Got it? Yes? Okay. Then it goes Emet, 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 Atahu Acharon. Emet, 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 Atahu Acharon. Bless you. Let's try the two parts. First time it goes up with Hu Rishon, down with Acharon. Emet, 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 Atahu Rishon. Emet, 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 Atahu Acharon. Umi Bal Adech. Listen. Umi Bal Adecha. Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. Let's just try from Umi Bal Adecha. Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. And the piece goes down at the end. Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. Got it? Think you got it? Let's try it.
We'll do our best.
Emet, 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 Atahu Rishon. Emet, 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 Atahu Acharon. Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. New? Was that one new for you or you do know it?
It's a long, all the things.
Yeah, it is an old melody. But it's a nice one. What I didn't teach you is sometimes when it changes, Emet Atahu Acharon, oh baby, Umi Bala. Okay, so let's continue Michamocha. You want one more time here? All right, here we go. Emet, 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 Atahu Rishon. Emet, 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 Atahu Acharon. Oh baby, Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. Umi Bal Adecha, Ein Lanu Melech, Melech Goel Umoshiach. continue on 114, Michamocha. Any people sitting in that row want to help read it?
Sure, all in response.
Shihirachadasha Shibechu Geulim Leshimcha Asefatayam Yachad Kulam Hodu Vehilichu Ve'amru Adonai Imo Le'olam Va'ed Sur Yisrael Be'ezrat Yisrael, Uvdei Kidumecha, Yehuda be'Yisrael, Go Aleinu, Adonai Eloheinu, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch Adonai. Continue on our own from 150B. If you look in page 120, 120, the second line, the middle of the line, Barchenu Avinu, bless us our parent, Kulanu Ke'echad, all of us as one, all of us as one unit, Be'or Panecha, with a light of face. Beautiful words, I love those words. Barchenu Avinu, Kulanu Ke'echad, Be'or Panecha. And now, Barchenu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad Kulanu Ke'echad Be'or Panecha. One more time. Barchenu Avinu Kulanu Ke'echad Kulanu Ke'echad Be'or Panecha. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la la. It's lovely either way, but I especially love with those words.
Joan should be up momentarily.
Joan should be up momentarily. Okay. Momentarily. All right. So the Torah portion is page 1185.
Everyone saw yesterday the moon. It wasn't full, but it was spectacular. I hope Sunday night is going to be
That would be beautiful. Yeah, I missed it, I'm sorry. So someone want to read the first two sentences in English?
Give ear, O heavens, let me speak, let the earth hear the words I utter. You want the next one too?
Yeah.
May my discourse come down as the rain, peace still as the dew, like showers on young growth, like droplets on the grass.
Great, thank you. So this is Moses speaking, and this is his last great oration. As a matter of fact, at the end of the previous week, the previous portion, it talks about, I'm going to give my big final song, my big final poem of teaching. So this is like the consummation, as it were, almost of his life and his final thing. And he starts by using the image of discourse come down as rain and speech distill as the dew, showers and droplets. All those images of rain, water, showers, droplets. And I read an interesting piece by Rabbi Jonathan Sacks. How does he start with those images? What are those images of showers, droplets, rain conjure up in our minds? Well, he talks about like we are like, it's like nurturing rain coming down on a garden. And we are like the plants in the garden. And that just like rain falls on a garden, and on a vegetable garden, everything can grow and it nurtures it. Plant grows in its own way, so that even though Moses is going to shower us all with these words, that each of us take them in. I never thought of it in this way before. That I'll read a piece from him, which is back, actually, that he quotes from the commentary on the last books of the Bible. Let my teaching drop as rain. Just as the rain is one thing on trees, enabling each to produce tasty fruit according to the kind of tree it is, the vine in its way, the olive tree in its way, and the date palm in its way. So the Torah is one, yet its words yield scripture, Mishnah, laws, and lore. Like showers on new grass, just as showers fall upon plants and make them grow, some green, some red, some black, some white. So the words of Torah produce teachers, worthy individuals, sages, the righteous, and the pious. And I would add in all people, not just the elite there, but everybody. And each of us take in these words according to our own ability, our own capacity, and our own life experience. So I like the fact, I just like that image that Moses starts his last discourse with the shefa of nurturing water coming down on us, and that we each will take it and absorb it in our own way.
Well, Torah just over and over talks about the power of speech. God speaks the world. And now at the end, like Moses is talking about how our words can be so nurturing and healing, powerful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm not going to wait anymore. Let's go study the Torah portion, and we'll just do it. Thank you for trying. So let's read through some more of this together. And it starts pretty nicely, right? Someone want to continue from verse 3 on for a while? Let's say from verse 3 to...
the name of the Lord I proclaim. Give glory to our God. The rock, his deeds are perfect. Yea, all his ways are. The faithful God never falls. True and upright is he. The Lord's portion is his people. Jacob his own allotment. Sorry, I skipped to the wrong page. Children unworthy of him, that crooked, perverse generation. Their baseness has played him false. Do you just requite the Lord, or do passions you?
Okay, so we started off.
Why did so few before? In the holiday was just an Yom Kippur. So doesn't feel.
And it's interesting that he uses the word emunah, which means faith, in the 4th verse. Not to talk about our faith in God, but about God's faith in us. El emunah. God has faith in us. Right. But it turns out that we're not so good. At least according to Moses. We didn't live up to faith in us. So let's see how, but, this is Moses' last speech, so he's gonna go back to the beginning. All right, someone wanna take it from verse 7 through 9? Even 7 through 12. Oops.
Remember the days of old, consider the years of ages past. Ask your father, he will inform you, your elders, they will tell you. When the Most High gave nations their homes and set the divisions of man, he fixed the boundaries of peoples in relation to Israel's numbers. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob, his own beloved. We found him in a desert region. Houses his nestlings, gliding down to him. So did he spread his wings and take him, bearing him along on his pinions. The Lord alone did guide him, no alien God at his side.
Okay. So now Moses is starting to go retell our history from Moses' perspective, because this is his perspective. But it's the beauty of it. I find this part, especially the part from verse 10 on, very touching. God found him, meaning Jacob, meaning us, the Jewish people. Jacob here is the metaphor for the Jewish people, not just the person Jacob. In a desert region, in a howling, empty waste. And guarded him like the pupil of his eye. The expression, the apple of his eye, probably derived from this. And like an eagle who rouses his nestlings, gliding down to his young, so did he spread his wings and take him, bear him along in his pinions. So eagles, and the eagle starts to fly, and the young baby eagle, and starts to can't make it. The parent eagle immediately runs down and catches it, but puts it on its back. That's the image of God to our people. As we struggled and stumbled, God would come and lift us up. I just find it very touching and moving.
In line 9, we've seen that the word Jacob, my name Jacob, he's going to use the author, he's going to use Israel.
Good point. Yeah, I don't know why it's Jacob here instead of Israel.
Well, when I think of Jacob before Israel, I think of someone who's like pre-transformation. Someone, because he becomes Israel after he like wrestles with God. So maybe it means like in that time before his spiritual awakening, God was still with him.
Okay, so that beautiful image. And let's keep going. Someone want to take it from 13? Go for it. 13 to 17. Yeah, 13, 14.
He set him atop the highlands to feast on the yield of the earth. He fed him honey from the crag and oil from the flinty rock, curd of kine and milk of flocks, with the best of lambs and rams of Bashan, and he-goats with the very finest wheat, and foaming grape blood was your drink.
Okay. So God's nurturing us, right? Feeding us honey from the rock. Anyone here the group? Honey from the rock? Well, this is where it comes from. And Lisa, do you know the song in verse 13? Vayeni Kehu Tmash Misa?
The melodies.
Vayeni Kehu Tmash Misa, Vayeni Kehu Tmash Misa. Vishemen mechamish zur, Vishemen mechamish zur, Vishemen mechamish zur. It was an early State of Israel song, but it's right out of here. Right out of here. Beautiful.
But it's interesting that everything is nature.
Yes. Nature, and remembering that Moses takes the starting point from the desert with no water, nothing really, and then all this is nature, things grow where in the land there's prosperity, there's growth is a gift. It's a gift of God. And we have this gift. What do we do with it, ladies and gentlemen? Not so good news. Somebody want to take it from verse 15 through 18. Sure.
So Jeshurun grew fat and cared. He grew fat and gross and coarse. He forsook the God who made him and spurned the rock of his support. They incensed him with alien things, vexed him with abominations. They sacrificed to demons, no gods, gods they had never known, new ones who came but lately, who stirred not your father's fears. You neglected the rock that begot you, forgot the God who brought you forth.
Yeshurun is Yerushalayim.
Yeshurun is another name for the Jewish people. Let's see what they say if they can make a comment on that.
The upright and Yashar upright, which alludes to Israel.
Yeah.
It sounds something like it. Used ironically here, it underscores how Israel has failed to live up to its expected character.
There we go. Yeah. So instead of being grateful for all these gifts, all the gifts we've been given, and have wonder and amazement about how these things grow, the miracle of our lives and the gift of our lives, what do? We get fat and self-satisfied and forget that this is our gift. Our life was a gift to ourselves. We didn't create it.
Second is very difficult, even evil.
Yeah.
My English.
But it is difficult. The basic with the other kind of gods, maybe like the gods of self-importance or the gods of whatever. God who nurtured us and gave this to us. Okay? So, and it goes on. I don't want to read all of it. But basically God says, all right, so I'm going to sweep misfortunes on them, verse 23. I'm going to use up my arrows on them because these people were not honoring me and were not loyal to me. I might have reduced them to nothing, but I didn't want their enemies to say, oh, well, their God isn't really able to hurt, whatever. So basically, Moses is saying, I almost got rid of this people, us, our people. And he's going to bring other peoples to do terrible things to us. But then finally, on verse 36, the Lord will vindicate his people and take revenge for his servants. When he sees that their might is gone and neither bond nor free is left. He will say, the gods that they went for did nothing for them, but now I am here, I am your God, and I will bring you back. Okay, and bring vengeance on those who hurt you. And that's Moses' last big song. This last verse. So what do you think about it?
Before we are thinking,
Before we think.
this is what Moses said,
Yes.
and then we come to the Matthew, and then God talked to Moses and tell him, go on the heart and look on the beautiful Israel because you're not going to get them.
Yes.
So this is even before God telling him, you're not going.
Well, this is not the first time Moses is told he's not going to see the land. It's
Then
not
I
the first
thought
time.
it was before.
Yeah, so it's just repeating that. That, after Moses gives the long song, the song ends at the end of verse 43.
So what suddenly Moses come with this song?
Because Moses, all of Devarim, all of Deuteronomy, is basically Moses' last retelling and giving his last teaching to the people, okay? And he knows his life is coming to an end. I mean, he's been told already before the Makir that he's going to be dying, and he knows it's coming. So this is his last big oration.
Because I think the parasha before it was when he told him, take Joshua.
Right,
There
so already
is-
he's arranging for the next generation of leadership, yes.
So this comes before and now it's repetition of,
Yeah, and this is the last big time.
for sure you're not going there.
So how does this make you feel?
Terrible.
Why?
Very painful.
Yes.
And I'm thinking about Jonah too, because I had this sense of when Jonah says, I knew, why did I have to do this? I knew you were going to redeem these terrible people. And it just makes me think there is this theme of this back and forth throughout all the Torah of, God sort of redeeming people and then people turning away from and doing terrible things, and then God punishes it. Why does there need to be these back and forth, Why can't we kind of live in love? And yeah, so I'm wondering,
I'm constantly going back and forth
is it prescriptive?
myself. So we're going to a wedding
Yeah.
today, and like my focus should really be on the joy of that union.
Yeah.
But I was freaking out this morning because I hate all my clothes, and I'm like, so when you were talking about no gods or pseudo gods, like I thought immediately, because I'm like, my priorities are up when I'm throwing a fit about my dresses, instead of like thinking of the holiness of this moment that I'm being called to witness. And so I go back and forth, just like these people,
Yeah.
sounds like they go back and forth between the right priorities, which is love and community and God, holiness, and then this other pseudo God of like a sequin dress that has sequins falling off.
Right, and bells and whatever, and all
Yeah,
those things that
like what I look like
are personal. That was them and back there, what
all day.
what are the, maybe we all have our own little gods, capital G, that, how much time, just close your eyes, right? Think about your average normal day. How many times do you really think about God? How many times do we think about work? I mean, and compare, right? I mean, yeah, Steve, you want to say?
First of all, I'd say I love you, Patrick.
I was thinking.
Very fashionable.
But I guess the way I see this is that, people are people, and they're not going to be perfect, and all these rules are there to try and be perfect, but everyone fails.
Yes.
And then God doesn't want to have a failure of this much from his people, so he's going to forgive them so they can go on being people, and they'll fail. So it's not prescriptive, it's more descriptive.
Nice. Let's hold exactly where we are now, because I want to we've got some time. I'd like to, as a haftarah, chose the haftarot to have some relationship to the Torah. And was surprised, if you look on page 1197, King David, in the song Moses was. So what I'd like to invite us to do is take a little time to look at King David's song, and with the question, why did they pick this one? What's similar? What's different? Is there a message to us? And by the way, these questions I'm asking you now, I don't have the answer. I'm wondering it myself, but okay. So, someone want to start? Joan?
Oh Lord,
Yeah.
my crag. Oh, you want me to start it?
Yeah, please, that's what I said.
David addressed the words of this song to the Lord. After the Lord had saved him from the hands of all his enemies and from the hands of Saul.
I just had to believe
So you're after King David, huh?
my namesake was.
He said, O Lord, my crag, my fastness, my deliverer. O God, the rock wherein I take shelter. My shield, my mighty companion, my mighty champion, my fortress and refuge, my Savior, you who rescue me from violence.
One more, yeah.
All praise, I called on the Lord, and I was delivered from my enemies.
Okay. By the way, one of the words that David uses is Nigini, my shield. Anyone ever heard of a Magen David? Oh. All right. So this is addressed to whom? To God. It's not addressed to people. And it's a song of praise for salvation, or saving. Someone else want to take it up for a little bit?
For the breakers of death encompassed me. The torrents of Belial terrified me. The snares of Sheol encircled me. The coils of death engulfed me. In my anguish I called on the Lord, cried out to my God. In his abode he heard my voice. My cry entered his ears, and the earth rocked and quaked. The foundations of heaven shook, rocked by his indignation. Smoke went up from his nostrils, and his mouth came devouring fire. Live coals blazed forth from him. He bent the sky and came down. Thick cloud beneath his feet. He mounted a cherub and flew. He was seen on the wings of the wind. He made pavilions of darkness about him. Dripping clouds, huge thunderheads, in the brilliance before him blazed fiery coals.
Great. This is an amazing vision, yes?
Yes,
Someone else
yes.
want to take it up for 14?
The Lord thundered forth from heaven. The Most High sent forth his voice. He let loose bolts and scattered them, lightning and put them to rout. The bed of the sea was exposed. The foundations of the world were laid bare. By the mighty hand of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils, he reached down from on high. He took me, drew me out of the mighty waters. He rescued me from my enemies so strong, from foes too mighty for me. They attacked me in the day of calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me out to freedom. He rescued me because he was pleased with me. The Lord rewarded me according to my merit. He requited the cleanness of my hands.
Thank you. Okay, and so on. Pretty much, then David goes on to say, God has now supported me, saved. Just like right here, David is saying he saved, God saved David from his enemies. David goes on to say how he vanquished his enemies, and God is his strength and his support. Like verse 47, the Lord lives, blessed is my rock, exalted be God the rock. And then if you look on page 1201, power of victory to his king and to God, who deals graciously with God's anointed, the David and his offspring. Migdol Yeshua Malko, Yosef Esavich Shechol, David Uzaro Aravam. Is that familiar? Migdol Yeshua Malko, Yosef Esavich Shechol, David Uzaro Aravam. It's from the Birkat HaMazon. From the Grace African. It's a longer one. Okay, so now, ladies and gentlemen, we have two poems of two major leaders, both right near the ends of their lives. The rabbis chose this one to to somehow go along with Moses's. What do you think now is the message? Why was this one chosen for this one? And how do we feel about David on its own and in comparison with Moses?
David poured his heart out, but this is his own. Moses turned to the people. The two of them talking from their heart. They're coming the end of the Uda and they're just Sava'ah. How you say Sava'ah?
It's like the last will of the Testament.
Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. This will and this will. You know, everyone expresses in a different way, but it's
And also, I want to underscore the point you made that Moses is addressing this to whom?
to the people.
To the people. David is addressing this
To yourself, to
to
God.
himself, to God, to this personal experience.
I like one
There is a
thing.
shift. Sorry.
I just want to say
Yeah.
that somebody cried when I when I'm upset, I say, I avoid screaming.
Yeah.
So this is like screaming, you know, that so but somebody cried when I'm avoid something.
Yeah, where will my help come from? Where will my help come from? Yeah, and it's beautiful language too. I mean,
I just noticed, the grammar changes. So at the beginning on page 1197, it's like second person, David addressing you, God.
Yeah, that's just the first sentence. Yeah, that's like the song actually starts on the second. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying through line 4, or through line 3, I guess, and then 4 and 5 it goes into, in my anguish I called on the Lord, cried out to my God. In his boat he heard my voice. So it's sort of shifting to the third person. David, it's not you. In your abode you heard my voice. My cry entered your ears.
That's it. And it's his ears.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
I don't know if that matters that much, but it's something I noticed.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
What is the history of being saved from
Saul didn't like David. He thought David was trying to get him out and displace him and stuff. And Saul
Saul
was very
wanted
suspicious.
Jonathan to replace.
Maybe he wanted someone else to follow him. So there was, at one time, there was a wonderful relationship, but it went downhill. And so that it had to do with success, Jones saying succession, etc.
If you take all David's song, used to write song,
Yeah.
how this come with all this song? How it's blending? Because usually used to write love song, right?
Not just, no.
I don't know, I'm not so familiar with this.
You are more familiar than you think you are. Most songs we're singing in Sukkot and Simran. Many of those songs are David, are attributed to David. So yeah, no, he writes lots of songs to God.
So most likely he sung everything.
I want to share, I'll just share my take on this, and it's no better or worse than anyone else's. When I first read Moses' thing, I was like, come on, Moses, the end of your life, why are you so bitter? You know, you've struggled with this people, I know it's been tough, but can't you just say a nice word? I really, and I also feel sad for the people, and I feel sad for Moses. That you're putting a little more nachas, you know. Then I read David's thing, and I'm very happy for David. I mean, David really has felt God in his life. in a way that has touched his life and made him feel worthwhile, made him affirmed him what he does. So I'm very happy for David. But now I go back to Moses and I think, David is a pretty self-satisfied dude. Moses, when he knew he was leaving, was still trying his best, maybe not perfect, but his best to warn the people what was going to happen. His best, even though it seemed to come out of anger and hurt, it's still his caring for the get fat and kids. It's Moses at his most pathetic. And what the prophets do is when they say you're going to mess up and you're going to be in trouble, that's not necessarily a crystal ball guarantee of it. It's really a warning. It really should be read as if you do these things, this is what's going to happen. That's like with Jonah. He goes into Nineveh and says, you're going to be destroyed. He knew God didn't want to destroy them, and they took the message and they changed and they weren't destroyed. So, at least for me, having David's song paired with Moses gave me more empathy for Moses' song than I had just reading it alone. And I just want to share it. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, just how I took it. And yeah.
How old was David? Moses was 120 years old, right? 120. And how old was David?
I don't know how old he was, but I do know the commentary says this is right near his death. It's near the end of his life that he said. I don't know.
You have no idea how old.
I don't remember. Maybe it's probably in there somewhere. I just don't remember. But, well, if you look at the Haftarah for Vayechi, which is the last one of Genesis, maybe it'll tell us how old he was. But anyways, what?
So maybe that's a difference also. At what age?
Because you think David died, but I don't think David died young. I mean, I don't know when he died, but I don't
Maybe
think.
he was even older. Oh, he was pretty old.
No, he lived a full, because remember he got very old and he was cold and they brought this young woman to be with him.
The one
and stuff. No, he was,
Maybe he was older than Moses.
that I don't know. I doubt it. No, I don't think
So
so.
they said the oldest one is Moses, 120. Maybe some of them are 600.
Yeah, the early guys, the very early guys, yeah. So anyways, I just, and then the other just thing I invite us to think about is, what song would we write at the end of our lives? What? Or even at the end of each year?
Life story.
Well, but Moses doesn't write everything. He picks. David doesn't write everything. He selects.
What you wanted David to about Shaul, that he didn't have a good relationship with him, that he ran all the time, that he cheated on with the women. What you wanted David to write?
Well, maybe, Moses didn't sugarcoat. Moses looked at hard things. David only looked at the pretty, the good stuff from him. Maybe, I don't know. How would each of, I just asked the question for ourselves. What would
I
we
don't
do?
think Moses killed anyone for a selfish reason, which David did. And then that person in the union gave us the next king.
So, okay. So if you write your last song, would you, I don't want to go with that, if you should just.
I haven't killed anyone, I don't know. Yeah.
But would you put those in your song? Or would you just, what would you? And
I
would
would probably, my song would probably be more optimistic, or, because that's the kind of person I am. Or I forget about the bad stuff and just the good stuff.
Torah full of bitter old men at the end, like Jacob with his blessings for his children.
You you've always mentioned.
How would you bless your children?
So, how would you bless it? What would you?
I think
Very difficult to answer because some people has a beautiful life experience and some people has very bad experience. So it's depends what kind of life you live and how you finish, how you see. Oh, I finished my life. I didn't achieve anything in my life. I didn't do. It's depends, how you feel when it's come to the end. If you're honest enough to look back and to see what you did in your life.
I think it's also a person's basic personality. There really are people who always see the bright side.
Positive.
They may mention the negative side a little bit, they don't totally ignore it, but they really always see the bright side. Even when terrible thing, I'm thinking of one person, a Holocaust survivor. He's the only person that survived in his family, and yet he was the most optimistic person that you'd ever meet. He was always sunshine, and he was a very successful person. We found out how really successful he was when he died. And I don't mean just with money, I mean relationships with people, and he was an old man, but hundreds of people came to his funeral.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a kind of
But I would not be people that would know us to carry the problem.
Right, that's what's amazing with it. Yes, should we go wrong here?
I just share with you something. I don't know how much it's connected to this. Jeremy knew that all my life I wanted to do is social welfare. I used to work in social security. I worked in social security and I was involved with this and this one, but no. I didn't want to study, so I didn't. So we'd sit one day and we are talking and I said, I didn't accomplish. And so he said to me, here I'm the director of the seniors. And he said, Mom, what is in my seniors?
Yeah. I around to do this, but just for the US, not for my whole life. And I try not to be just David. I so actually, I literally take some paper and I'll put pluses in one column, minuses in another column, and goals in another column. And I'll try to think about the year just passed and think about the things in my life and in that year that I do feel good about. I feel either that the gifts to me or that I've helped do something, maybe something positive in the world. I don't know. But things I feel good about my life. And then I also look at the minuses. And spend time thinking about that. And then try to think about how to
This is scary.
But some years it's this way, some years it's this way. I guess that's why I could identify, after I thought about it, and after comparing it with David's, I could identify with Moses. I think it's good to look at both. That's really what we're going to wear to the wedding.
From Solomon.
What?
From Solomon.
Solomon, yeah.
Yeah. David's son.
Yeah.
Take your hand off your mouth so we can do it.
Can we combine the third one with two we discussed
So we
today?
see balance with Solomon, balance between these two.
Oh, so are you talking about Kohelet? His last, supposedly Ecclesiastes is that what you're referring to?
Solomon.
With Solomon?
King Solomon. He was just after David, right?
Yes,
He's David's son.
Yes, and it is so different.
yes,
Him.
yes.
That's a little
Yes, and that's actually in part why David didn't get to build the temple. Because Solomon was different than David in many ways, yeah. And David, he built up the country, he expanded the borders, he made really built a country, and he built a capital, but there was blood on his hands. And so Solomon was the one who was chosen to build the temple because he wasn't a warrior. And this is not saying anything, I mean, it's good David was a warrior from the perspective of Jewish history in that sense, but to build a temple was Solomon, not David. They were different temperaments, different people. If that's what you're referring to, yeah.
David was a coach.
Some of David's thing. Like verse 7 on 1198, Batzar li ekra Adonai, ve'el Elohai, in my anguish I called on the Lord, cried out to my God. In God's abode he heard my voice. Or, also in this prayer, let me see if I can find something quickly. Something like Hechala, my God's temple. I don't see that quickly. I saw it last night. I'm not perhaps I followed it. I'm sorry. At any rate,
What are you looking?
I'm looking for some phrases in his, and I'll give you a clue, that we read recently.
The only thing I can, when I'm thinking about even Saul, Yatzileni Me'olivei Misonaikim, so I wanted my last second to get. If you go to 18,
Yeah,
that,
you rescued me from my enemy so strong from foes. Okay.
My whole 33 hot out. See, cut you.
what's now?
Yeah, 33.
What word is mighty stronghold in this?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what with this. And it's a long shot. But when I was reading it, I started to think about Jonah. I started thinking
That's
about
what Chris said.
just like Jonah said from his he was in distress in Jonah's song, and God heard his voice. David is saying the same thing. In my anguish, that's out of me. God heard my voice. In sorry, I can't find it now. David talked about Hechal Adonai, the temple of God, and being there with him. And Jonah was saying, "Oh, would that I could be in your holy temple again," and whatever. There is. There were just echoes to me. And I guess what's also, all of them, or Moses, David, Jonah, and their life is not only prose, their life is also poetry. They're able to pour their hearts out just to pour their hearts out in a poetic form, in a song form. And so maybe it's not pure biography, every little, what he did with Bathsheba, and but it's a pouring out of their soul, and all of them, whether we feel good about how they did it or not, they could pour out their soul to God and to the people, and that I think is something that I wish more of our leaders could do.
Even the leader today had more soul. I say, you're talking about all the leaders, the beautiful leader. It's not only the leader, the poem, and they were all around people. So I said, I wish that the leaders today had this.
And this is, yes, and I think it would be better for everybody. They, on all of these, I'm not making a political statement.
Oh, not only
Yeah. All right, any other?
Yeah, the title of the chapter is Samuel, the are reading the Torah, Haftarah,
Yes,
and so what should the prophet?
yeah, in the three sections of the Samuel is, it's in the prophet section.
Is it such a Jewish Hebrew name Samuel?
Oh, Samuel, Shmuel, God hears.
Oh, Shmuel.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was somewhere. Okay. Shmuel. Never been so.
So let's continue. Oh, Brielle's not here. Brielle, you want to come up? Page 183. Aleinu shabeach ha'adam ha'kol, la'teinu tzedek reishit, shelo asanu kirei ha'aratzo, velo samanu k'mishpatot ha'adam, shelo sam kalkeinu kahen, v'kol aleinu k'chol ha'olam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachvim u'modim, lifnei melech malkei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'masha yikaro b'shamayim imah, u'shchinatu zo, v'godei deromim, hu Eloheinu Einod, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu b'torato, v'yadata hayom b'hashevota erev ha'avdah, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim v'ima'ah, v'ha'aretz v'tachat Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Ne'emar, Haya Adonai, le'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom nahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo This week we recall Meyer Falk, Eleanor Blumenthal Katz, Beverly Katz Weiss, Abraham Oss, Ilsa May, Muriel Borowski, Abraham Zellen, and Harold Adelson. Mourner's Kaddish, page 184. Yitgadal, Yitkadash, Shemei, Rabbah,
Amen.
Ba'alma, Tivrach, Yerutei, Yamlich, Malchutei, B'chayechon, U'yamechon, U'b'chayei, B'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'bizman, Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehesh Shmei Rabbah, Mebarach, Ba'alam, Ba'alei Amaya. Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, v'it pa'ar, v'it ramam, v'it naseh. V'it hadar, v'it alef, v'it halal, v'kudsha richu. Ve'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran v'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. John?
Well, I guess I'm not starting the new year off on the best of notes. And I apologize that I was downstairs and would have made the minion. But Chris needed assistance, and I didn't want to leave him. So I apologize, because in view of what we talked about today, I'm still not sure which was the right thing. But maybe I would have been better to come up here. And,
You made the video for the American Say Kaddish.
yeah, okay, well, yeah, the positive side, yeah, thank you. But on happier notes, with all of the solemn, serious holidays out of the way, we now come to what all of our ancestors have told us is the happiest one of the year. Zman Simchatenu. It's a time of great happiness, and that's Sukkot. And it's great happiness because it's harvest, and it's food and fun and dancing and sukkahs and anything else I guess you want to pour into it. So we begin tomorrow at 4:00. Anyone who would like us and like to help decorate the sukkah, and we certainly can use anyone, and you don't even have to be very mobile. We can give you things to do sitting down, if that's what you what you would prefer. So 4:00 is the official sukkah decorating. I know there are going to be people here pretty much all day, moving tables and getting things ready. So, and if you can't come at 4, but you can come at 2, come by and see who's here and what you can do to help. 6:30 is, anyway, so I think it's 6:30. We start with the potlucks. We start with a short service in the sukkah, and then we go on to a potluck. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow. They said it's going to be close to 70 degrees. There should be at least some sun, and that means even by the time we're starting to eat, it shouldn't be too cold. But bring layers, and we should be able to see a full moon. It's going to be cloudy, so it really should be very nice. So we want everybody to come here and have a wonderful time. So that's tomorrow, celebrating the beginning of the holiday of Sukkot. Now Monday is actually the first day of Sukkot. So that makes it a holiday, which means that we move the minyan. The minyan will be at 10:00, and it will be a holiday service, which is a fun service with a lulav and an etrog and marching. And so if you can manage to find the time to share Monday morning with us, come, because it will certainly be worth it. And then that's followed by a holiday kiddush in the sukkah. And again, I think the weather will be cooperating. So we'll be able to we have kugel, we have lox, we have all kinds of stuff to encourage you to stay for the kiddush. And and I know it's Columbus Day, but in all, 1,000 years ago, this was one of the 3 major holidays of the entire year. If you wanna know more about that, ask me downstairs, or ask the rabbi. And Wednesday night, we get back to a little more normal living. Wednesday, is the board meeting, and that's at our new time of 7:00. Board is now meeting at 7. We've broken things down in 2 ways. Upstairs and outside here, there's, a flyer that takes the entire, Sukkot Simchat Torah, days, and that's all on one flyer. And there's also a flyer that just covers Sunday and Monday of tomorrow and Monday, with times and places and what's going on. And then at the end of that, there'll be another one that will cover Shmini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. So you have 2 ways of bringing home reminders. And I wish you all the happiest of Sukkot and a great weekend leading up to it. And Adon Olam on 187. Oh, project has been extended. The original material said that it was over on Yom Kippur, but it is now over on Simchat Torah. And I noticed that yesterday about 4 more bags walked in. So there's still plenty of time to pick up another bag or pick up a first bag and fill it and bring it back. It will end on Simchat Torah.
Just one other announcement. I went to an area-wide gathering on last Sunday, the Sunday between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, dealing with immigration. And it was a very interesting one. It was a Jewish rally in Northampton. And they passed out some sheets about if people are interested in taking action for dealing with issues around immigration. And I brought one with me in case anyone wants to see it later. There's some good suggestions. Very moving. Wait a minute. Riel. You don't think you're going to get away without being up here for something? Come on. How about helping us with that demo lab?
Oh, yay. Just on time.
Can you read it?
Kiddush Crasher.
Help you with it? Okay, we're good. Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Li'et Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
Chesakol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'Acharei Kichot HaKol, Levado Yimlok Hara Adon Olam, Vehu Haya, Vehu Hoveh, Vehu Yeh B'Tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'Terem Kol,
B'Terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra,
Yitzir Nivra,
Li'et Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
Chesakol,
Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam,
Vehu Echad, Ve'en Sheni, Le'am Shelo Le'achbira Adon Olam, Ve'li Reshit, Ve'li Tachlit, Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'ha'mitzvah Adon Olam,
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa, Chesakol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam,
Levi, V'chai Koali, B'tzor Heli, B'Eitzara Adon Olam, V'hu Nisi, Umanosli, Menakosi B'yom Nekra Adon Olam.
Adon Olam,
Asher
Malach,
B'ter Kol,
B'ter and Kol,
Yitzir Vivra,
Yitzir Nira,
Ha'et Nasa,
Le'ed Nasa.
Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, B'yahado Avkiruchi, B'et Isha Ha'ira Adon Olam, V'imruchi Geviati, Adonai V'lo Ira
Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'ter and Kol,
Yitzir Vivra, Le'et Nasa,
Le'ed Nasa, Kol.
Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon
That was good.
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shabbat
Shabbat, Shabbat,
Shabbat 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 Shabbat